Guys, it's happening again. Rumors from several sources are coming out saying that Breath of the Wild is going to be delayed again. First, I'll give you the facts of the rumor, then my thoughts, and why you may not actually be waiting that long for a Zelda game to be played on the Switch. The following info comes from Emily Rogers and has been backed by several other sources. They have each pointed out that this info isn't confirmed yet and also state that they each heard this from multiple inside sources. They've even been right in the past, even about the Nintendo Switch reveal date, which everyone including myself didn't believe them. So as far too many people say, take this with a grain of salt, but don't get your hopes up for that March launch. Nintendo has never actually said, to my knowledge, that Breath of the Wild will be a launch title for the Switch. So here's what everybody had to say about the delay. Localization on the game became a huge risk, bigger than anyone expected. As of October, localization was still not going as smoothly as planned. Localization might not be finished until the end of December. After localization, the game will require between at least 4 to 6 months of testing. Nintendo's intention is to have the game as bug-free as possible. A summer release may be more likely. The Switch version of Breath of the Wild is running more smoothly than the Wii U version. The final version of the game is a bit harder than the press and media played at E3. The E3 demo's difficulty was toned down a tiny bit because Nintendo wanted people playing to have fun exploring. And here, we were all thinking we were first going to be playing the game back in 2014 or 2015. So why is the game actually being delayed? Because Nintendo is a group of perfectionists. Open world games like Skyrim and Fallout launch full of bugs and glitches. I mean, you may even see a random cow just start flying backwards because the game thinks it's a dragon. This isn't even a joke, this actually happened. This all gets fixed with several patches, and then Skyrim is re-released 5 years later, and guess what? It still has lots of these issues from the original. You never see this from Nintendo. They release a game and that's it. It's perfect or almost perfect. And unless it's a game like Smash Bros., which needs balancing fixes once DLC characters are out, you will never see patches for Nintendo games. Nintendo could be like other developers and publishers and release a game 6 months ahead of time, and you'll end up with a somewhat broken experience, but Nintendo is known to delay and delay to give the best possible experience. Personally, I wouldn't mind, for example, if the game, let's say, had 10 dungeons, and instead of getting the game 6 months from now, I think it would be great to pay for the game and get, let's say, 6 of these dungeons, and then once a month or every couple of months, Nintendo release a dungeon item or a new area to explore. I know a lot of people would have a huge problem with this, but it worked out for Splatoon. They released basically half of the game, and over the course of a few months, they released new items, weapons, and maps as free DLC. I know this wouldn't be ideal for an open world game, but I think they could make it work if they were creative enough and could possibly even tie in the story to it. But this is just my thought, and I'm sure you have better ways of solving this problem, but I just see it as one possible way Nintendo could please fans by giving them a portion of the game early, with the rest promised to come later as free content or free DLC. The other option would be to release a possibly broken Zelda game full of bugs, where you walk into a room, take a few steps, and fall through the floor. Be fighting a boss and it glitched through a wall. Suddenly you're unable to defeat it, and unless you restart the game, you're stuck inside this room, unable to restart the battle. Or in Twilight Princess's case, you save inside the room with a statue in Kakariko Village, and the game has a game-breaking glitch, making you forever stuck in that room. But to end this on a good note, Breath of the Wild will be undoubtedly amazing. One of the best Zelda games ever, and possibly one of the best video games ever. And since they will be reusing this engine for the next Zelda game, and perfecting the engine is what took so long for the game to be released originally, with all of the bugs worked out of the game, the next Zelda game, even if it is on the same scale as Breath of the Wild in terms of the overworld size, would not take nearly as long. Especially because the way Nintendo works, pre-production of the next game begins during the development stages of the current game. all of the items, ideals, weapons, or whatever that they think of that doesn't necessarily fit the game they're currently working on, they always save these for the next game. So with that in mind and them reusing the engine, they wouldn't necessarily be going into the sequel to this game with the blank slate. In fact, if localization is currently the main reason it is being delayed, then we could expect that most of the team is already working hard on the next Zelda game, and we have no idea what the handheld Zelda team is working on either. Seeing the creative minds behind A Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes working with the home console team behind Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, and all of these other great Zelda games would be an absolutely amazing team up. Remember, the team behind Xenoblade helped out a lot on Breath of the Wild as well. And even if they're not working together, that just means we can see a follow-up to A Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes that much sooner. Possibly even next year given how quickly Triforce Heroes was made, and I'm sure 2018 being the 20th anniversary for Ocarina of Time would see a full HD remake appear on the Nintendo Switch. Not the original game simply rendering in HD, but a full-on HD remake. Or possibly even the 3DS version rendered in HD. But I would love to see it done in the Breath of the Wild engine and art style, with added stuff that was originally intended for the Ura expansion for the 64 disk drive. What's up everyone, this is Jesse and welcome to the Inslate. I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you're a fan of my Zelda or gaming news theory or discussion videos like this, please consider supporting this channel by donating through patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can get new videos early, be able to join on discussion or theory videos, get shoutouts, and tons of other great rewards. Thank you all so much for allowing me to do this, watching my videos, and especially you Alex Myers, Jonathan, The Itch Network, Magic Tech Review, Mike Priest, and John Frank for your support on Patreon.